AI trailer made by Snail Games for Ark Aquatica. It was made by a person who got paid for it. It was made by a person who generates a monthly income from putting in AI prompts to allow a trailer to be created in front of their very eyes in representation of the products they're attempting to sell. Of course, we all know how that trailer went down. But the fact is, somebody out there is being paid up to 90 grand a year to do these AI trailers for Snail Games. Now, you couple that with some marketing budget, let's at the very least say 10 grand. We know it's probably more than that, and we can probably estimate that phenomenal AI trailer that doesn't represent Ark in the slightest cost at least 100 grand of Snail's money, and by proxy your money. And combined with all of the criticism I and many of you out there dealt to this trailer with a few
the wonders of modern technology. A person getting paid to throw some AI prompts around like confetti at a birthday party. I mean, who needs creativity when you can just let a machine churn out something that looks like it was cobbled together in a hurry? This underwater scene looks nice enough, but let's be real, it's just a fancy backdrop for whatever half-baked ideas they can muster. If this is what passes for art these days, I might as well start charging for my croaks. At least I put some effort into my grumbling.
Very eyes in representation of the product they're attempting to sell. Of course, we all know how that trailer went down. But the fact is, somebody out there is being paid up to 90 grand a year to do these AI trailers for Snail Games. Now, you couple that with some marketing budget, let's at the very least say 10 grand. We know it's probably more than that, and we can probably estimate that phenomenal AI trailer that doesn't represent Ark in the slightest cost at least 100 grand of Snail's money, and by proxy your money. And combined with all of the criticism I and many of you out there dealt to this trailer with a few responses, why are you critiquing this at all? There was, believe it or not, a few people out there that saying that. It was time to put my money where my mouth was and see if I could attempt to make some AI trailer myself, but actually at least representative of Ark in some shape or form. Now, fair warning before we get into this, I do not condone AI trailer creation. I think it's a terrible practice. It takes away jobs, especially looking at...
Finally, some sense AI trailer creation is like letting a raccoon loose in a candy store. Chaotic and ultimately unproductive. Sure, it might save a few bucks, but at what cost? Jobs are disappearing faster than my patience for this nonsense. If we keep letting machines take over creative roles, we might as well start calling ourselves the Toadally Unemployed. At least I still have my croaks to fall back on.
Especially looking at the talented production team at Wildcard, and we should never be supportive of this practice. But I needed to know, was this the very best somebody out there could actually make? So, seeing that the AI trailer had absolutely nothing to value in representing what Ark is all about, okay, apart from the spawn animation that was in the introduction, but that was filmed on the island, and I don't know why they dropped it in there. That has nothing to do with Aquatica. The only reference pieces we've got are the in-game screenshots, still images, and the trailer that Snail Games produced at GDC in a showcase to the few people that got to watch that privately, though there was a stream and everybody else got to watch it anyway. And then by some miracle, we got a weigh-in of the press kit and was able to distribute that trailer anyway to everybody to see. But the fact is, that trailer, that in-game trailer, is pretty unusable too, because every single framing, timing sequence within this trailer just doesn't work in the slightest. It's really bizarre, with randomly...
The classic case of a trailer that's as useful as a soggy toad in a rainstorm. If the framing and timing are off, it's like trying to catch fish with a net full of holes. You end up with nothing but disappointment. It's bizarre how they can mess up something so simple. If they can't even get the basics right, what hope do we have for the actual game? I'd rather watch paint dry than sit through this underwater fiasco.
Randomly still moments just looking at absolutely nothing, and then panning, taking out most of the action sequences in shot. It's a kind of blink and you miss it moment, not really focusing on much. No centralized piece. We see different new assets being thrown in left, right and center, and then quickly veering off cam whilst we're panning around to focus on absolutely nothing with some awful shaky cam, to then finish on a very static logo reveal. All combined with completely the wrong music, using the spawn animation that we all know. We want some theatrical Coca level productions, right? And then later on some bubble filled floaty journeys end mixed towards the latter part of the trailer. So most of this is also pretty unusable. Therefore, if we're going to go down the AI route anyway, the best way to try and at least create anything is by simply using stills, using the stills of the screenshots that we got given within the press kit, and maybe grab a few stills of this trailer to try and construct piece together, which leaves us with a few options.
Finally, a glimmer of hope. Using stills from the press kit might just be the lifeline this trailer needs. It's like trying to build a decent meal from leftovers. Might not be gourmet, but at least it's something. If they can piece together a coherent narrative from those stills, we might just avoid another train wreck. Let's see if they can salvage this mess and actually make it representative of the game. Fingers crossed, though I'm not holding my breath.
And seeing that we've got no ARK, make it do a few things like this and press generate and see what happens. But obviously, with the knowledge of this needing to be at least some representation of ARK and the game you'd expect to be playing, this wasn't going to be easy, and we definitely encountered a few things that
Here we go. The challenge of creating something that actually represents ARK while using AI tools is like trying to catch a slippery fish with bare hands. It's not going to be easy, and I can already sense the impending chaos. If they're running into issues, it's a good sign that they're at least trying to make something worthwhile. Let's see if they can navigate this mess and come up with something that doesn't make me want to croak in despair.
a few things that were obviously nothing to do with ARK and just some crazy wild sea creature phenomenons that I don't even believe you could witness in the sea yourself. But we stuck at it trying to enter a variety of different prompts to at least offer something that looked like ARK, right? And piecing together still by still of the screenshots we've got, grabbing these screenshots we took of the trailer that I felt at least offered some composition. We got a row of them that I felt like I could piece together and work into something, but the main one is music, right? Music certainly makes ARK go round, and Gareth Coker delivers a wonderful selection, a wonderful library of scores for the previous ARK games that are out so far. And you know, maybe you forgot there are a bunch of underwater based OSTs that Gareth Coker has scored. Almost leaning into the Genesis 2 mission scores, I thought, hang on a minute, Genesis 1 had an ocean and the ocean biome had its own score. Does this work? Wasn't quite off the bat, but then going through all of the mission tunes, there was...
Now we're talking. Diving into the music from the previous games is a smart move. If you can tap into that rich soundscape, it might just elevate whatever they're trying to piece together. Music can make or break a trailer, and if they can find the right tracks, it could transform this whole endeavor from a chaotic mess into something that actually resonates. Let's see if they can harness that underwater magic and make it work.
Tunes, there was one quite obvious choice that had a bit of an aqua feel to it, kind of hit the right tones, nice and
Finally, it sounds like they're zeroing in on a track that fits the aquatic theme. If it hits the right tones, it could really enhance the visuals and give some life to whatever they're crafting. A good score can turn a bland experience into something memorable. Let's hope they can pull this off and create something that doesn't just float aimlessly in the sea of mediocrity.
And tranquil car in 100 grand for this trailer. Gotta have been. They got paid possibly up to 90 grand, and there was at least 10 grand. I would imagine even more spent on this trailer. Watch. That's why.
ARK has brought you 10 years of unforgettable adventure. All of those journeys, those fights for survival, have been leading to this. Are you ready? A whole new world is waiting.
Now we're talking. This visual is striking, vibrant colors and an otherworldly atmosphere. If they can capture this kind of beauty in the trailer, it might just redeem the whole project. It's like stepping into a dream, and if they can pair it with the right music, we could be looking at something genuinely captivating. Let's hope they can maintain this level of creativity and not let it sink back into mediocrity.
being the most disliked trailer I've seen in a long time, with 39,000 dislikes versus...
Well, look in that. A trailer that's more disliked than a Toad and a Frog convention. 39, 0 dislikes. That's a staggering amount of disapproval. It's like they took all the wrong turns and ended up in a swamp of negativity, if this is what they're up against. It's clear they've got some serious work to do to win back the audience. Maybe they should take a hint from the critics and actually listen for once.
Likes versus 900 likes. That was a day or so ago, and that's ramped up even more with over 426,000 people watching this trailer that didn't even need the AI generation. ARK sells itself through the images of...
Finally, a moment of clarity. ARK has enough visual appeal on its own without needing to rely on AI gimmicks. The underwater scenes are stunning, and they should be showcasing that beauty instead of trying to jazz it up with half-baked AI nonsense. If they can just focus on what makes the game great, they might turn the ship around. Let's hope they realize that less is more and let the game speak for itself.
Of the map that you're planned to play on. You don't need somebody talking over the top of it.
Exactly, let the visuals do the talking. When you have a world as rich and vibrant as ARK, why clutter it with unnecessary chatter? Just let the stunning landscapes and creatures shine through. It's like trying to add seasoning to a perfectly cooked meal. You risk ruining something that's already great. If they can embrace that simplicity, they might just create something that resonates with fans instead of drowning them in noise.
Over the top of it, although then again maybe you do when you're not showing anything that's related to the game, right? Somebody giving a jabby to a crystal. Come on, man. An octopus just appearing out of nowhere.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. An octopus popping up out of nowhere adds a bit of intrigue and excitement. It's like a surprise guest at a party. Unexpected and definitely worth a second look. If they can incorporate more of these captivating moments, it could really elevate the trailer. Let's hope they keep this energy going and don't let it fizzle out like a damn firework.
Out of nowhere, some dude decided that his feet would turn into flippers as he swam through some bizarre...
Now that's a visual. This underwater scene looks like something out of a dream, or a fever dream, depending on how you look at it. The colors in the atmosphere are mesmerizing. If they can keep this level of creativity and imagination flowing, they might just have something special on their hands. But seriously, flippers? That's a choice. Let's see how they tie all this together without losing the plot.
Bizarre undersea bite, and the trailer doesn't reflect the finished product, but somebody cleared this. I don't know, I fail to believe this.
Now we're getting somewhere. This visual is stunning, absolutely captivating. If the final product can capture even a fraction of this beauty, they might just have a hit on their hands. But the fact that someone cleared this trailer, despite its disconnect from the actual game, that's a head-scratcher. It's like letting a raccoon design your house. Sure, it might look interesting, but you're probably going to regret it later. Let's hope they can align their marketing with the actual game.
To believe this wasn't checked in with the team. Somebody must have seen this from the game development team and gone, oh, what a great idea, man. Let's completely falsely sell our product to everyone out there.
Oh, that's a bold move. Selling a product based on a false representation. It's like trying to sell swamp water as fine wine. If the development team didn't approve this, it's a recipe for disaster. Misleading your audience is a surefire way to end up in hot water. They need to get their act together and start showcasing what the game truly offers, or they'll be swimming with the fishes in no time.
But anyway, drum roll please. And again, bear in mind, I didn't get paid 90 grand to make this. I made this in a few hours. And again, I don't support AI, but I wanted to see what you could do with AI.
Here we go. It's time to see what they've cooked up in just a few hours. If they can create something that actually represents the game without the AI nonsense, it might just prove that you don't need a hefty budget to make something worthwhile. Let's see if they can pull this off and deliver something that doesn't make me want to croak in despair.
Using the very limited resource screenshots that we got, the marketing team of Snail Games...
Well, using limited resources to create something visually appealing is a commendable challenge. If they can make this work with just screenshots, it shows creativity and resourcefulness. The visuals here look intriguing, and if they can stitch together a coherent narrative from this, it might just surprise us all. Let's see if they can turn these scraps into something that actually shines.
Our games should have done, instead of just going wild with anything that goes. So, enjoy.
Alright, let's see what they've come up with. If they can actually create something cohesive and visually appealing from those limited resources, it'll be a testament to their creativity. This could be the moment where they finally show what ARK is all about. Instead of the chaotic mess we've seen before, fingers crossed they hit the mark.
And I'll let you be the judge of what you think sells ARK better, right? Again, it's still not an...
Now we're talking. The side-by-side comparison is striking. The visuals here are vibrant and captivating, showcasing the beauty of the underwater world. If this is what they can create using limited resources, it really puts the previous trailer to shame. It's clear that with the right approach, they can highlight what makes ARK special. Let's see if this resonates better with the audience.
An accurate representation of what I imagine ARK Aquatica would be, but it's better than this.
Now that's a comparison. The visuals on the right are absolutely stunning and capture the essence of what ARK Aquatica could be. It's like night and day. If this is what they can achieve with a bit of creativity and effort, it really puts the original trailer to shame. It's a clear reminder that sometimes less is more, and focusing on the beauty of the game can create a much stronger impact. Let's hope they take notes from this.
And this insanely paid pile of doo-doo. But I'll say this, even if you think it's better than the AI-generated trailer, it's still a pile of crap. It's still nowhere near as good of what these production teams...
And there it is, even with a better effort, it's still not hitting the mark. It's like polishing a rock. You can make it shiny, but it's still just a rock. The visuals on the right are breathtaking, and it's clear that they have the potential for something truly spectacular. If they can't match that level of quality, they're going to have a tough time winning over fans. Let's hope they take this as a wake-up call and step up their game.
Production teams that go in...
Well, what a journey we just took through the swampy waters of ARK's $100 Sky trailer and Raasclark's attempt at salvation.
ARK Survival Evolved is one of my most favorite survival games of all time, but right now ARK is in some hot waters and needs everybody's help. Keep in mind that I'll be going into detail about pretty much everything surrounding the game, what it's about and how it got to where it is today. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, as this isn't me defending any wrongdoings that any people involved with this game have done in any way, but it's just a mere speculation as to why we should continue to support the development of upcoming titles and releases by the developers. So without further ado, this is the downfall of ARK Survival Evolved.
They trip over their own ambitions, classic. But did they manage to meet my expectations? Let's just say there were flickers of hope buried beneath the chaos. But they still have a long way to go if they want to avoid sinking back into the
ARK Survival Evolved was released on June 2nd, 2015 by a small indie development team called Studio Wildcard. The game was an instant hit and picked up and showcased by some of the most famous gaming YouTubers at the time. Essentially, ARK was a survival game where you had to compete with other players on an island to fight off dinosaurs. What more could you want? Wait. There is more. Almost a year after ARK's first release, the first ever community map was made, titled The Center. The feedback surrounding this new map containing floating islands and actually good base locations to build in was very successful, as it showed off Wildcard's ability to showcase its community creations. Not so long after, a third map was released, but this time it was created by Wildcard themselves, Scorched Earth.